Hey guys, and welcome to my vlog. I guess you can see that I'm not vlogging alone today. I have Big Jake Cotton in here. He's my service dog, and it says do not pet, but you can see that he loves me, and pretty much he loves everybody that he sees. But I have a question to ask you that I think is really important. I'm 55 years old, and I've lived a pretty good life. Have a lot to be grateful for, but I think there's just this little sneaky part in all of us that have some kind of bucket list, some kind of dreams that we have of things that we want to do before we die. And if you've been following along, you know that I went through a life-threatening illness in 2012 and could have died. And I'm still, fighting back day by day to regain my health. And I don't think those things should stop us. I mean, we can come up with a lot of excuses of why we shouldn't do things on our bucket list, but kind of regardless of where we are, I'm going to encourage you to step out. So it was not very long ago that I decided to go skydiving for my third time. And I know some of y'all are out there going, Allyson, you're crazy. Why in the world would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? But I think there's a reason that I chose to do that. First, I'd heard so many people do it and say that it's really a life experience, not life-changing, but one of those things that you just remember for a long, long time. And back in the middle of July, when it was really beautiful weather, I drove up to Cincinnati, and I took, 10 minutes of ground school. That seems like enough to me to know how to jump out of a plane. And I put on this blue jumpsuit, and I had a harness, and I was tandeming. I was going to jump out with someone, which, by the way, I think is a really good idea, to jump out with an instructor that's had a lot of jumps. And so we get on the plane, and when you watch the video in a few minutes, you'll see me being all excited, like, "Raw, I'm so excited, I'm going." That's absolutely not true. I was terrified. And you get on the plane, I was sitting right at the front. There are about, 15 people in there. And then the plane takes off. And when the plane takes off, your heart almost stops beating. And you're thinking, why have I decided to do this? Why am I on this plane? And what part of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane makes any sense at all? And so the plane begins to climb, and literally all the people on there just start almost cheering. But it's more like that nervous chatter that you hear when something's going on that you're not sure about. So we get up to the right altitude, and they open the door. Now, mind you, I'm right by the door. So when that door opens, we're 12,500 feet up in the air, 2 miles above the earth. We're way above the clouds. And it happens really quickly. When they open that door, the first person goes out, the second person goes out, and then I think I was the third person. So there's a photographer that kind of jumps out, and he's hanging on to the airplane with his head tilted towards us, so that when I jump out, you can absolutely capture every moment. And I'm not sure I can explain what it's like to stand at the very front of an airplane door. And it's like time stands still. There's that moment of absolute excitement and absolute terror. And it happens really in the blink of an eye, because as soon as your tandem instructor gets up and walks toward that door, you're out. I mean, you're free falling at 120 miles an hour. And there's just no way to describe that, to sense the excitement of seeing God's creation free falling and just feeling the air against you and the excitement, and knowing that you have someone that's right there with you. You're tandem to someone that knows what they're doing. And I think that's where I am in life. I'm looking at my bucket list. I'm finding out that it doesn't matter kind of where I am in life, but there's a lot of life to live. And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is kind of what I did. Whatever it is that's on your bucket list, I'm going to ask you to get on the plane, to actually make the decision to get started. But I'm not going to ask you to do it alone. I think we have to strap ourselves to people, either physically or emotionally or with our hearts. And we have to come together and do things that make our lives meaningful. So that's kind of what I have to say today. I look forward to go skydiving again. If you want to go with us next summer, Cincinnati, be there or be square. This is life, and I want to have time to live it. And I'm just wishing blessings to you. And if this is interesting to you, I'd like you to subscribe to our vlog and like it and make sure you share it with your friends, because we're going to be telling stories of meaningful things that I think can make life better. So glad you were here today. See you again soon.